goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Thanks for having us. This is a very cool show.
Yeah, so through many iterations, and we finally landed on the weirdest one by far.
Yeah, Simple Feelings, and boom, you got a sound.
I remember this one time. I had been writing some songs, and I went out. I'm just going right in on this story. I went out, and so I was.
The story's longer than the song itself. We'll go ahead and play it.
And listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band. Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar. Tonight, we have writer, comedian, musician, and general man about town, Mr. Dave Hill. Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be your next favorite band. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese.
Hello, and I'm your co-host, David Moore.
And this is...
Your next favorite band.
And your next favorite comedian?
Your next favorite author?
Author? Next favorite man about town?
Next favorite other guy named David?
The other Dave.
We've actually outnumbered you on this one, Phil, so watch out.
Yes, if we go to a vote, I'm gonna lose. But before we get to our guest, Mr. Dave Hill, we made some announcements today, David.
That this is a true fact.
Truth. We started announcing some of the content. The people who are going to be part of our Winter Wonder Jam.
Performers, yes. So today we announced our two headliners. So these are the people who are going to be performing live in person at Godfrey Daniels. December 10th.
December 10th, 3 o'clock was the start time. If you remember in years past, there's a good chunk of stuff where it's recorded music, and people who have been guests on the show throughout the year submit stuff to us so that we can play it and give like tidings of great joy. And then there's always like a handful of people who are going to perform like an actual set of music. So that's what these are. So the first one we announced today was the Tisberries. They were Tyler Acey, the lead singer, frontman kind of guy. He was on the show for an interview back in July. But this is going to be a trio. So three of the people from the band are going to come and regale us with wonderful music. And then the other band, also a trio, Fig for a Kiss, which Bethlehem-based Celtic band. And that's going to be fun because you've got obviously very, very kind of modern rock music. And then we can maybe do some like, druidic circles and some nice Celtic music.
I'm just happy that we hit the trio limit. I'm sure there's fire code on that or something like that.
Correct.
Put a cap on that.
Two trio limit. But yeah, so again, like we said, Sunday, December 10th. It starts at 3. It's at Godfrey Daniels, but it's going to be live streamed. So tune in like this virtually if you are interested in that. And then if you are local and you are interested, you can stop by and check it out in person. So there you go. You have all that fun stuff to enjoy. The sounds of the season and the merriment of year end.
And all of the details will be at the site. So you can just go visit the nextfaveband.com and you can get all the details if in case you missed that and you want to double check that it is the Tisberries and Fig for a Kiss. Yeah. And I think the other part too is to follow us on social media of choice, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter X. Now we're on Threads now. But any of those, we're going to continue to have the announcements. We'll slowly, I believe they call this drip marketing. But I don't care. I'm holding back only because until I have 100% confirmation
I'm not going to say somebody's a part of the show. So there'll be some more announcements throughout the week and then leading up to the 10th. And some exciting stuff. I think there's going to be a pretty exciting one tomorrow about some additional ways that we're going to try and raise funds for nonprofit organizations. And we do have that as well. If you text Next Fave Band 2023 to 41444, we can start, getting donations directed towards New Bethany Ministries, the local homeless shelter. So that's cool. One other thing. So sometimes we play this fun game, David, where we do a little bit of a trivia. This one isn't going to be as involved as the previous ones. It's more of a question around. This is the one part that I'll play a little trivia with you. So 1960s music.
Okay, 1960s.
Best-selling albums in that decade.
Oh.
Very unique.
Yeah, is this not the decade of like musicals?
That's it. You nailed it.
It's like West Side Story and things like that were like phenomenal bestsellers during that era.
So year by year, but look, wait till you see this change. So I'll bring it up since you nailed it. I'm so I kind of had faith in you that you were going to get this one for sure. But there we go. By year, 1960, best-selling album, Sound of Music. 61, Camelot. 62, West Side Story. 63, West Side Story. 64, Hello Dolly. 65, Mary Poppins. 66, Whipped Cream. And then we see a change. 67, The Monkees, which is a little show-tuney, I guess. You know, it was a show.
I think they were more in a little bit of their own control at that point in time in 67, right? Just
I
a little
hope
bit.
so,
Like,
but
didn't
anyway.
Michael Nesmith get like 1 or 2 songs on an album at that point in time?
Probably. But then a massive change.
Yeah,
68,
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced? 69, Inagata Devita. So, like, I thought that was hilarious and very on brand for our guest tonight because he can rip solos like Inagata Devita throughout this entire evening. So we have the pleasure of, actually, this is so funny. This same week, a year ago, we had on a best-selling author, and now we're bringing on another best-selling author who is also a musician. So 2 years in a row, apparently this is the slot for it. But since he's also a musician, he also writes music to promote his books. So we have that, and I don't want to speak over that since it's a good promotion for his latest release. Why don't you read his bio, and then we'll bring on his song called "The Awesome Game," which is
Dave Hill is a comedian, writer, musician, and actor, originally from Cleveland, but now living in New York City. He has written for the New York Times, the Paris Review, Salon, GQ, McSweeney's, Guitar World, and the Cleveland Plain Dealer, among other publications. He is a regular contributor to public radio's This American Life and Live from Here, and has hosted his own podcast, The Dave Hill Good Time Hour, formerly known as Dave Hill's Podcasting Incident, and The Goddamn Dave Hill Show on WFMU. Dave has appeared on Comedy Central, BBC America, MTV, and Adult Swim, among others, and is a regular host on HBO and Cinemax. Dave performs live comedy in theaters and basements across the globe, and he plays guitar and sings in his own rock band, Valley Lodge, whose song Go is a theme to HBO's Last Week's Tonight with John Oliver. Dave is the author of 4 books, starting with Tasteful Nudes in 2012, and his most recent, The Awesome Game, one man's incredible globe-crushing hockey odyssey, published in 2023.
So here is the song he wrote to promote the book, The Awesome Game, by Mr. Dave Hill.
The Awesome Game is my book about hockey. And if you like hockey, I know that you will love it. And even if you don't like hockey, you'll love it. Even if you don't like sports, I still think that you should read it, of course. It's a literary classic, so put it in your basket at your local bookstore. It's available in all formats, even one I never heard of. The Awesome Game. Did I mention that I traveled all over the world, playing hockey, watching hockey, and talking with people about hockey? I should also tell you, I even went to Kenya and played with some guys who live there. We call the Kenya Ice Lions and we're really good friends now. It's a testament to the greatness of the game. It brings people together. All right, I'll rip a solo. Hockey for you. Hey, you over there, yeah, hockey's for you too. The awesome game, you better read it or I will be enraged. The awesome game, I promise you will love every single page. The awesome game, the awesome game, the awesome game. The awesome game, the awesome game, the awesome game. The awesome game. And nailed it.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Dave Hill.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No. Thank you for joining us and for, sharing all of this cool, the videos and stuff like that. It's been, such an honor to get prepared for this one. We don't always get, such illustrious bestsellers on the show.
Oh, massive bestseller. Watch out, Dan
right.
Brown.
That's an old school book publishing reference for everyone who's paying attention for the Da Vinci Code drops.
Yeah.
But he didn't write.
I'm not afraid of the Da Vinci Code. Dan Brown didn't write the Da Vinci Code?
Oh, he did.
Yes, he did, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was either me or him.
but he didn't write a song about it that ripped solos.
No, I mean, the authors, basically there's authors of the only ones that I'm aware of that have written songs with guitar solos to promote their books are me, Ernest Hemingway, and F. Scott Fitzgerald. We're the big three, and one of the Brontes, I think, but I can't remember which.
Right, that's the Mount Rushmore of.
I always confuse them too.
Yeah. One of the Bronte sisters. A terrific left-handed player. Talk to us about, so we're going to play, we always play a song at the end of the credits. So we're going to play that Parking the Moose song after the credits. And that'll also get into where you were kind of became aware that you have this Canadian heritage in your background, which is somewhat where some of these authoring of stories is coming from. And you're exploring of the game of hockey.
Yeah, I mean, it's been I mean, I've been aware of my Canadianness, I think, for my whole life, but yeah, and then that's kind of how I got into hockey as well.
Right.
My grandfather was from Ontario, so yeah, I wrote a song about the last book too, and the video for that takes place on an ice rink too. Mm-hmm. I didn't anticipate that the fourth book would be about hockey,
like 100% on the right, yeah.
And then it just worked out that I have two videos in a row that are very similar, to be honest. And yeah, so.
But you were able to go around the world and play hockey with different, it's in the song, obviously it's in the book. But
it's right there in the song, yeah.
Yeah, nailed it. But tell us about that. That must have been pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, sort of on a, part of the reason I did the book was for the money. No, just as a way to explore, because I feel like everything else that I'm really into, comedy and music and writing and acting and art and things, all the things, I do all that stuff, combine it into what I do for a living. But hockey is the one thing that I really love that I don't do. I think I knew when I was like 12 or 13 that the jig was up and I was not going to make the NHL. And so with this book, I really wanted to kind of explore the subject and selfishly take my publisher's money to kind of go on a hockey safari.
I'm researching.
Go around the world. Yeah. I mean, if I had it my way, I would still be researching. I would still be just traveling, going to games.
Hockey book tour.
Yeah, but I got to go. Yeah, I went to Finland, Poland, Canada, of course. But Kenya. I went to Kenya. There's one team in all of Kenya, the Kenya Ice Lions in Nairobi. and it started two of the Finland trip also. Both of them started with like, I'm really into hockey jerseys, which is
Yes.
sad in a way, because on the one hand, I think hockey jerseys are the lowest form of human dress. Like, I don't think I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't think anyone should ever leave the house in a hockey jersey other than
yeah.
to like go, before noon. I think like I'll wear a hockey jersey I kind of lead a double life in that. I mean, sort of right now I'm dressed very casually.
In a hockey tracksuit.
I'm wearing a hockey-based tracksuit.
Yeah.
But in general, like when I go, do things, I dress up a bit, wear a sport coat and this and that. But when I'm like walking around my neighborhood, like a lot of people this is going to be shocking to you.
Okay, I'll be ready.
But a lot of people in my neighborhood aren't aware that I'm an international superstar. They think that I'm just...
How's that possible?
You're just the guy that lives over there.
Yeah, I think that they just think I'm some guy who weirdly is just walking around with his dog all the time.
In a tracksuit.
Or adorably, I should say, in terms of the dog. But, I don't... and then they'll be like, oh, well, we just thought you were some sort of drifter. But you're an international superstar.
Right.
But largely because I wear mud-covered jeans and hockey jerseys and things around in the morning. But anyway, my point is, real digression. I don't even know what the point of that was. But
we started with hockey jerseys being the lowest form of human
fashion.
They
just look. I just don't. As much as I love them and I wear them around the apartment and to the dog run, and sometimes riding my bike, exercising, things like that, I would never like show up to dinner in a hockey jersey unless it were the restaurant we're at the rink and the game was happening.
Correct. Yeah. Right. I actually wanted to bring up one. It's funny we started out here on hockey jerseys because the one you wear in that video that I think is the highest form of hockey jersey-ness is that 1980s, maybe late 70s Vancouver Canuck flying.
Yeah.
So you were wearing number 27, which I thought I wanted to know who that was. Apparently it was Mr. Harold Snepts.
Oh, wow. I wasn't sure myself.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that knowledge to you.
I think I got it during the pandemic. When I was just like trying to distract myself.
And there he is. Look at him. The picture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember him.
Yeah.
Look, he looks amazing.
Right. How great is that jersey? I mean,
it's an amazing jersey. I mean, it's considered to be like the worst hockey jersey of all time, according to
people who don't know what they're talking about.
People who don't know what they're talking about.
To me, it almost looks like Ace Frehley's outfit from the Kiss, like mixed with
Vancouver. It's totally badass. I predict that it will come back. If it hasn't already, maybe they're still wearing it for like Sunday jerseys.
Yeah, I totally see that as a third version jersey that they would roll out for that 100%.
It's totally... Anytime I wear it, people get a lot. I actually went to a Canucks game in Vancouver and bought a T-shirt that has that on it.
Yeah, you have to.
And it's a cool shirt.
It is. It's totally
but I love that. I love those jerseys. That whole look. It's like futuristic and weirdly German at the same time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And because I think it's the same colors as the German flag. I'm not sure. What do I know? But I think it is. I choose to believe it is. It's close.
And Belgium, aren't they like?
Yeah, it's one of the. It might be the same sort of. Yeah, Belgium and Germany both have the same sort of vertical stripes with the black and yellow and the orangey color.
Is Germany red, yellow, and black? I forget. I've been to Germany many times. You would think that I would know. To be able to speak confidently in this matter.
Right.
But
the next time you go, they're going to ask you at immigration. They're going to be like,
what color is our flag?
What colors are flags? And if you don't know, you're back on the plane.
Exactly.
And they're like, nice jersey, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But by point of reference here, so the way we became very aware of the Dave Hill experience was I happened to catch back a couple months back a Puddles Pity Party concert here in Pennsylvania. It was at the Sellersville Theater, and I have a couple pictures here from the show. So this is you ripping solos next to Puddles. I thought this one, I thought this one was pretty awesome, where there was these Puddles guitars. But then I thought this one was an interesting one too, where you dressed up as a tequila bottle.
That's right.
Yeah. That.
I dressed up as a tequila bottle. It's kind of a surprise in the show, which I don't think you've ruined the surprise by any stretch. But it, but yeah, it's a little part of the fun of it. I mean, I love doing shows with Puddles. He's amazing. And I do a set in the beginning, and then it kind of just rolls right into his set. And then I'm in various parts of that show as well.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. And we always have like nice cheese plates and stuff, which I really like.
Right.
And I remember that Sellersville show pretty well because I went for a run around town. I usually go for a killer run after sound check.
Right.
In every city pretty much. And there was a coin shop, like a rare coin store.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped in front of that. And I like to do commercials for businesses that didn't ask for it. And I did one for that coin place. And then the guy wrote, he's like, "Thank you. We literally just opened." And so I was really happy about that.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that was a fun show. I remember I like hurt my ears at sound check, and I was a little cranky that night.
And
it
didn't come across. It killed. Like, and that was the thing. I was like, I gotta reach out to Dave Hill and see if he wants to come on the show. And here we are.
Well, that was my professionalism shining through.
Yeah,
I usually don't let. If something's going on with me, I try not to bring it to the stage.
Yeah.
But yeah. I remember after the show, Puddles went out to the lobby to wave at people, and I just stayed in the back with the cheese plate. I don't know what was going on with me, honestly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just like cheese, honestly. That's the main thing.
I mean,
that's my main.
No one's gonna hold that against you.
No.
No, I mean I enjoy it. The lactose intolerant, though I find most lactose intolerant people are tolerant of cheese lovers. They don't say, "Hey, not on my watch."
Yeah, right. No, that would be really
not on my cheese.
Awkward
plate.
at times. Yeah. Yes. So when you were on stage, you talked about how your father used to bring you to Sellersville in the summer times, I believe it was.
Oh yeah, beautiful this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Sellersville, growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, my dad, he used to bring me and my siblings to Sellersville, Pennsylvania, every weekend. He'd pick us up Friday after school. We'd drive for hours. So it's just like, why are we? Oh my gosh, But I cherish those memories. What little we were never actually allowed to get out of the car.
Right.
When we got to Sellersville. But we did steaming up the back windows, seeing the sight in town.
Mm-hmm. And the odd, like the coincidence, like the universe just working in your favor, it brings you back there.
Back to Sellersville, where it all started.
International, all-star,
Yeah, the word. Yeah, like now look at me.
Right. Yeah, pillar of all
Back
industries.
To Sellersville.
Yeah. Look at this coin shop that I just made $1 million for.
I think my friend Alex Skolnick played at that theater like the 2 nights later or something.
It would have been right around that time with his what's the name of that ensemble? The one that he does with oh my gosh, it's all their last names. It sounds like a law firm.
Yeah, I forget. It's called.
It is. It's like an improv fusion. But yeah, he played there. It was either the week before or the week after you guys were there.
Yeah, we're often like hot on each other's heels in one direction or the other in venues.
Mm-hmm.
Show business.
Yeah, there you go.
It's always fun.
But that brings us back. So in all seriousness, like you, from what I understood, with you were cleaning out. Your dad had moved out of the house you grew up in, and you were looking at books and things you had written previously. I guess maybe in college or when you were younger, and you just saw that you had like clarity and something you wanted to get back to around that same time frame. And I just thought that was kind of an interesting story to share, just because this peek back to when you were a younger writer kind of opened your mind to where you needed to end up getting to.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things. Yeah, I think I was into writing when I was younger, and then got distracted with rocking people, things like that.
Mhm.
Part of the reason I like writing is honestly, like, my dad knows what books are, and so much of what I do he's very confused by, I think. Not because of old age, just generational, like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like right now, if I were like, oh, I'm doing this live cast that's streaming through this and that, he would be like, what are you? He actually goes on YouTube now. He tells me about it, and it frightens me, actually. But the thing about, when I write a book, I hand him the book and I'm like, here, look, I wrote a book.
Right.
Now, do you love me?
No, my mom's the same way. She's like 81, and in fact, today's her birthday, of all coincidences.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Patty Reese. But
Mrs. Reese.
Yes.
Mrs. Reese, as I call her.
True. But again, your professionalism shining through. But
gentlemen,
yes.
First and foremost.
But I'll say, hey, did you check out the show? She's like, yep. I'm like, what do you think? She's like, I don't understand what you're talking about, but I love you.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's all we want, right? We just want their love.
Yep. But so that first book you wrote, Tasteful Nudes, is a memoir about how you became kind of like who you are, and then it was optioned by Comedy Central, huh?
It was, yeah. They optioned like a script. We wrote, my friend Eric Gilland and I wrote a script, half-hour comedy. In theory, it was a comedy, and though I believe it to have been.
Yes.
And then and then they were like, okay, cool, thanks. We won't be moving forward, but we, I'm glad. It's nice of them to,
Sure.
I had fun writing it.
Yeah.
And grateful for the opportunity, as they say.
Absolutely.
But,
and then your father is a musician, right? Like he.
Yeah, he plays piano primarily at this point, but he plays some guitar. I don't think he plays too often anymore, but that's how I got into guitar.
Right.
Or that was I don't know if it was him that got me into it, but just that there was one in the house. And
the general presence of having that around.
Yeah, you start blowing smoke on the water, and next thing you know, it's a
full career.
The
whole lifestyle.
Yeah. It's a whole life. It is a lifestyle, for better or for worse.
Right. So then your second book, and this will be where we'll bring in this cool video that I just think is amazing. Dave Hill doesn't live here anymore. There's this video that you did with your father where you melt faces playing Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, well, my dad is a huge Led Zeppelin fan, and he's actually the reason, or was the way I got into them, is he, when I was like 7 or something, he got Led Zeppelin 4, and it was the first music that I was like, whoa, this is scaring me in a really awesome way. It was the first music where I was like, this doesn't sound like 4 guys,
Sure.
And then the album cover, like their name's not even on the album. There's just some weird old guy with a bunch of sticks on his back. And I was just like, who are these crazy guys,
Right.
So, and they truly became my favorite band at, about that age. And then by about 12, I was just fully super Led Zeppelin, and still am. I mean, granted, they've done all right for themselves. They're a lot of people's favorite band, but I get them more than anyone else does.
I can see that.
But my dad, yeah, he loves, and especially Stairway to Heaven. Again, their most popular song. But yeah, he just decided he was going to learn it on piano, and so, actually, now I'm skipping ahead, but like a few months back, I was at a diner with him, and he's like, I went on YouTube and I was looking for every cover of Stairway to Heaven that ever happened. And
still watching them now?
he was just like, I want to see like the different versions that people have done. And he's like, I think the Foo Fighters do the best version because it's really heavy. And I was like, Foo Fighters didn't do a cover of Stairway to Heaven. And my dad's like, yeah, they did. He's like, it's really heavy. And like, I like when stuff's really heavy and they have the 3 guitars. So it's extra, you know, they have all 3 guitars. Like, well, how does he know that? They do have 3 guitar players. So I was like, he's still insane, you know, but then I went to the bathroom. When I was in the bathroom, I looked on my phone and there it was, Foo Fighters, Stairway to Heaven. So joke was on me. But anyway, yeah, so he learned Stairway to Heaven, and then, you know, actually the second book is the only book that I didn't write a song for.
Right.
And that was because my dad had learned Stairway to Heaven. So I was like, you play Stairway to Heaven and I'll rip the solo at the end. So that's what we did.
So let's take a peek at this.
And to preface, just let me set it for you. I had never heard him play it. Like, what you see is the only time I've ever heard him play it. And it's kind of like I have a friend that was coincidentally the head of Atlantic Records, and I sent it to him, and I was like, you have to send this to Led Zeppelin.
Right.
They have to see this. And I don't think he ever did. I think he had other stuff to do. But yeah, he plays that. You'll see. He just plays a pretty epic version.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what's his name?
He's Bob Hill Sr.
Got it. So here is Stairway to Heaven by Bob Hill Sr. and Dave Hill. The look on your face when he's trying to turn the page is so great.
That had to be great though to play that with your dad. I mean, I mean, it's awesome to get that opportunity actually. Oh wait.
Oh, thanks.
Got the tail end here, right?
That's as far as it goes, Dave.
So
yeah,
go ahead.
None of that is, planned or rehearsed or anything. He literally just stopped, turned the page.
And that is so. If those of you who might be listening on the podcast and only got the audio, there's a lot of good sight humor there. So on the Dave Hill YouTube channel, it's available there, and we'll link to it in the show notes.
Thank you.
There we are. We're seeing more and more of you. You're a very, very talented guitarist. I mean, like that's the other part of this is like I think it's a shtick that you do in your stand up. But you're really talented. Like there's legitimacy there, and you taught yourself. Like so, like there's some really really cool aspects to that. So I wanted to kind of just point that out that it's not like just like a thing you add to your stand up.
No, it's funny. I was just talking about it today though. That like playing the guitar. I'm there's kind of a couple. I mean, I play a lot of different styles, but I'm realizing there's like my real guitar playing and then there's comedic guitar playing. Right. And it's sort of like they're starting to blur together a little bit where I'm not sure which is which anymore. Basically, if I'm doing right hand tapping, I'm probably joking.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's the tell.
But yeah. Yeah, because I just think it's a funny thing to do. If you're not Eddie Van Halen.
That's the asterisk at the end. Unless you're Eddie Van Halen, in which case it's totally fine.
I mean, there's people who have done it really well, but I just think it's a funny, obnoxious thing to do.
But
big fan.
Yeah, and then I think the other part too was that you weren't exactly like stand-up comedy came later for you. And from what I understood, it was like 2003, where you tried stand-up for the first time at your cousin's bar in New York City.
It was been more like 2005.
Okay.
But yeah,
my research is never
But yeah, I never planned to do it. It was more just sort of an accident, and then it grew from there. And then it's still one of those. I think with everything I do, I'm just always feel like I'm just kind of scratching the surface and have a very vague understanding of how it works. And I'm just learning. And, with everything, guitar playing, I think I can barely play, with writing, I think I can barely string a sentence together. And comedy, I'm like, I think I'm kind of vaguely understanding it. But then you just got to keep going. And, I'm traveling all over the world. And I'm just kind of like, I hope no one figures out I have no idea what's going on. Or maybe that's why they're showing up. I don't know.
No, it's wonderful. I mean, it's. I mean, you're going to be touring with Tenacious D, right? And you've done it in the past, but you're doing it again soon, right?
Yeah, we did. Well, yeah, in September, I toured the South with them for about 10 days. And then, in May, we go to Europe. They're doing a tour of Europe. I'm going to do the majority of it. I'm doing Dublin and all of the UK with them. It's going to be so. I mean, they're the best. I love those guys. Sure. Amazing musicians, hilarious, and the nicest bunch of people. Them, the band, their whole crew. Just the tour we already did was, one of the funnest times of my life, and I'm super psyched to be going out with them. Cool. And then in February, I'm going to go out with Michael Shannon and my buddy Jason Narducci, and they have a couple friends with them. They're going to do the first REM album, Murmur, from front to back. And I'm going to open on that tour up from Athens to Boston.
That's awesome.
I think 6 shows.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really fun too. I'm psyched about that.
We're going to bring up your site towards the end just to kind of promote, because you even have a show in Philly in December, a couple days from, like a week from now. So
I do, December 7th. And of all my shows, I was just complaining to my sister about this, who lives in Philly. And I've heard this from something about Philly. The people of Philly do not show up for stuff.
What?
It's like a thing with artists that we talk about, that they don't buy tickets. And I've had multiple conversations with different comedians and musicians who are like, why? all the tickets are selling, but not in Philly.
Weird. I mean,
It's
I go to
weird.
shows all the time, and it's sold out. I went to Rat Boys last month, and it was a sold out show.
Yeah, it was sold out, but I bet they probably could have played a twice as big venue in any other city. This is what I'm saying. I'm complaining.
This is obviously going to help move the tickets right now. Like they're going to fly out the door.
I know. Well, my point is not. This is not a judgment on the people of Philadelphia, because there's people like I'm grateful for anyone who comes. I just think more people should.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because then it'll be more fun.
Yeah.
More fun for everyone. The more people that are there.
If you can have more fun, that's better than fun.
I think it's just because Philadelphia is so wonderful. They don't need to. People of Philadelphia don't need to I'm going to go see a show when I'm already living this amazing life in paradise.
True.
Why would I add to that?
Right. Yeah. The fun quotient was already
going to see Dave's show. Yeah. I'm already having the best time. I do love Philly though. My girlfriend and I were just in Philly with our dog, and we were at my sister's house. We went to the haunted house at Eastern State Penitentiary.
Awesome. That's really cool.
Officially
what
scary.
Else did we do? Went to see my friend's band Quicksand at Underground Arts.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's called. And that show was sold out, just as an example. Right.
But they should have been in a bigger venue. I'm starting to understand now.
They should have been. But no, I love Philadelphia. It's so close to New York that I'm like, maybe I should just move to Philadelphia. See my sister, play with her dog. Something to think about.
Rip solos.
Rip solo. I mean, most importantly, rip solos.
But back to the point that you made, and then maybe we'll ask you to rip a solo. That you feel like you're only just starting out. Like in 2007, Variety magazine names you as one of the top 10 comics to watch. So for somebody who is kind of getting their feet under them, you're really seeing a whole lot of validation and success.
Well, thank you. It's never enough though, It's like always like I'm just like I'm like, why? Where's all the money? Where's all the work? I always want to do more and buy some more tracksuits.
Yeah.
Or at least, no, more importantly, get more free
tracksuits gifted to you.
The mark of success is free stuff, not money or anything else. But yeah. But no, I hopefully I'll just keep growing and be able to do the things that I love doing and because I'm also completely unemployable, I should say. If I had to, knock on wood, knock on wood that I don't have to, but if I had to go enter polite society at this point, forget it. I'm like a feral animal. Like
there's no plan B.
It's too late.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have I'm not good at showing up places.
You expect
listening to
plates of cheese everywhere you go.
I expect cheese plates. I'm speaking of cheese plates. The Tenacious D tour, I had an amazing cheese plate every night on that tour. Just one more amazing thing about that tour was the cheese plates. Some of them, I think in Nashville, this cheese plate was so nice, and for whatever reason, I just didn't feel like eating any cheese that night. And we didn't, normally my buddy Niels and I, who was with me on that tour, we would take the cheese plate with us. I'd be like, get the cheese and let's get out of here. When we leave the venue at the end of the night, and for whatever, I don't know what was going on with us. I don't think we brought the cheese with us that night. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, this is such a digression.
Yes. Well, I mean,
but it's something I think
you got to
about.
bring that up with your therapist.
Yeah, it's just like, it's nice to, again, free cheese. Eat some free cheese and a free tracksuit. Forget it.
Lights out. Do you want to rip a solo?
Sure, yeah.
With one of your distasteful guitars, is that what you said?
Let's see.
All Oh, sweet. We're gonna come off screen and give you your center stage, dude.
Something just fell. Sorry. I can't play too loud. Can you guys hear that all right? I'm just playing nonsense. But yeah, I'm playing this. It's a very pointy guitar, and it's one of the few pointy guitars I can play sitting down. It's my favorite move is just to go. Okay, that's probably good, right? Something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Little piece of Eruption, little piece of Carry On Wayward Son.
Yeah, that's the bookends of life, really.
Right. That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, you pretty much held up the whole thing right there.
And you, this might be something you maybe do a little audition here. You've been asking to play the national anthem at an NHL hockey rink.
Yeah,
give a little taste to the various, maybe even the Philadelphia Flyers will pick it up.
I would love. I this past Friday I was home in Cleveland for Thanksgiving, and my friend Raj Suresh, hilarious comedian who lives here in New York, knew someone who worked for the Cleveland Monsters, the Columbus Blue Jackets farm team in the AHL, and they were playing the Toronto Marlies, and so I played the anthem. I played the. Okay, here we go. See, you get a little excitement here.
Right. You got to build
like everyone's like, "What's happening? We're in America." I'm skipping ahead.
Right, yeah.
Something like that. But then I did the Canadian one first.
Nice.
I screwed that one up though at the game itself. I was just like kind of looking out at all the lights and the people, and I just kind of got
you got in the moment,
distracted, and I kind of went. And then I recovered, but fortunately, the Toronto Marlies equipment manager, Will Burns, lovely young man, who was kind enough to hook me up with this sweet tracksuit. He's because I apologized to him, so my apologies to the in your entire organization for screwing up the Canadian national anthem. And he said, you know, a lesser player would have crumbled, but you just recovered.
Right.
But as it happened, I was like, man, at least half the players here have to be Canadian, and they know what I've just done. Meanwhile, 13,000 Clevelanders, I don't think noticed.
No, probably. Yeah, you made it your own. That's all. You just kind of
artistic interpretation in the middle.
I mean, even if you listen to like Jimi Hendrix's version of the Star Spangled Banner, he doesn't skimp on the wrong notes. Granted, it was very high on drugs at the time.
As far as he's concerned, all of the notes in there are absolutely perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I was stone sober, and
listen. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, but I do hope you achieve the goal and the dream of playing for an NHL.
I will. I'm sure it'll happen. You know, hopefully this season. I managed to. I mean, I generally, for many reasons, I think I tend to have negative feelings about the internet. I mean, I like that we're able to be all chatting thanks to the internet. But, you know, there's many negative aspects. But the fact that I was able to post on Instagram that I wanted to play the anthem before an NHL game, in just a matter of like a few weeks, well, so many people reached out like wanting to help. And I had a phone call with the NHL. It's going to happen.
Nice. That's so cool.
And but the fact that I was able to play both anthems in front of 13,000 people, you know, just a couple weeks after some Instagram posts I made, I was like, oh, the internet's kind of cool.
Yeah. In those ways, it's cool.
But next I got to be like, I want to star in a movie with Robert De Niro.
And then, was it 2 weeks later? Is that what you're saying? The turnaround time on that is that'll start happening?
May have been 3 weeks.
Okay.
I bet you know, not that I'm looking for extra work, but I bet I could get extra work in a movie with Robert De Niro in 2 to 3 weeks time.
Yeah, I think that would happen.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Yeah, but I know we're up against a time thing here, so I wanted to just rip through maybe some other like just quick tidbits of info. You've had various bands with the names Sons of Elvis, Valley Lodge, Uptown Sinclair, Cobra Verde, and my personal favorite, Witch Taint.
Yes.
Yeah, which is, I think it says mostly fictitious.
Well, I think it's kind of back to fictitious. It's sort of a long story.
Yeah.
But
we'll need Dave Hill Part 2.
Yeah, Witch Taint started as me just kind of emailing Norwegian black metal bands, and I accidentally emailed a Norwegian black metal label, which led to me asking them to sign my band Witch Taint that I made up on the spot. And so those emails, anyone can go read at theblackmetaldialogues.com.
That's amazing.
And then a few years ago, we decided to do the actual band and make a record. And then that imploded. My fault, basically. But the band, now it's gone. I'm doing other things with it.
Yeah. I mean, from what I saw, it sells a lot of T-shirts for sure.
A lot of T-shirts. Which is, you know, that's again, what greater mark of success than selling T-shirts?
Correct. Yeah.
But no, at this point, you know, Valley Lodge is the most, like, we have our 5th album's going to come out in, I think, February.
That's another one where there's legitimacy to that band. Like, that's actually real music. And again, and I don't mean to say that. I hope that's not coming across as disrespectful. I mean like that's real music. And like we said in the bio, in the opening, the song "Go" was the theme song for Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. So, in fact,
it still is.
You're right. Why don't we play that after the credits, because that's it's a great song.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. No, I like that band. I mean, like, I think with everything I do, you know, I just try to make stuff that I like, that I would want to exist. And so Valley Lodge is just, you know, me and my friends in the band just making, music that we know that we would want to listen to.
Sure.
in our cars, even though I don't own a car, to be clear. But if I did have a car,
This would be in the 8-track player.
When you think about being in a car, this is the music that plays.
It's truly like I'm like it's spring or summer. It's not too hot yet. You're going for a drive. What do you put on? Valley Lodge.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not the second record, the difficult second album.
Sure, that's
still amazing by
classic.
most standards. But no, I think we have some good songs, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But so yeah, stay tuned after the credits. We'll play Go, and if it'll sound familiar to you, and then you'll realize just how brilliant it all is as we get past more than just what the opening theme is to that other show. Other shows you've been a part of: Dave Hill Explosion, Fashion Week, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, The Tick, Modern Family, and my personal favorite, Werewolf Bitches from Outer Space.
Oh yeah, that was a movie, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and then these are my other two favorite tidbits, and then we can wrap. Back in 2019, you were permanently banned on Twitter for basically your mom jokes to Trump supporters, which was really funny.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some of my best work.
It really was. It was so funny. If there's a reason to get banned on Twitter, that's definitely number one.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about it. And then, they let me back on a few months ago, but now Twitter's kind of,
It's worse than ever before, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one, I think, so let's wrap with this here. Apparently, you were the one who actually invented the surely not everyone was kung fu fighting.
Yeah, well, I had a joke on my album Let Me Turn You On from when that come out, 2015, I think. And the joke on that album, I mean, it could be parallel thinking. I don't really have strong feelings about it other than wishing that I had made the T-shirt and
back
someone
to the
else
T-shirt sales. Yeah,
wisely.
You went with Witch's Taint, and someone else went with that.
My joke was, I'll buy it that some people were kung fu fighting.
Right.
And then there's a bit more after that, but it's basically that premise. But I don't know. I think that could be parallel thinking.
Sure.
It's not.
I want the record to state that you were at the forefront of the kung fu fighting.
Without question, I
dogma.
did it first. For sure, did it first.
Yeah.
But that's it's sort of how it goes. I do it first, and then someone else figures out how to monetize it.
Right. Right. But yeah. So let me make sure that we promote things. So we talked about your show in Philly, but let's bring up the other stuff here. So just real quick, let's bring up Dave Hill's Internet Explosion, DaveHillOnline.com.
My internet website. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are here. Lots of great stuff.
Content.
So live, here we are, Austin.
Yeah, Austin this Thursday.
Yep. So you'll be flying ACL Live, and then you'll be in Bozeman, good old Montana.
Oh, yeah.
Utah. And then here's Johnny
Helper.
Brenda's Philly. Look at that. There's a ticket symbol there. That means they haven't sold out yet. So Philly, what are we doing?
It's true. Yeah, we know it's sold okay, but not the massive numbers I'm accustomed to.
Correct.
I just, it's more fun for me when there's more people, but whatever. People have other stuff to do.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah, and then I like this here.
Whatever. It's only my life.
Right. It's only your well-being. Dave Hill in Cleveland. Damn it.
That's right. Yeah.
November.
I have a lot of shows.
Yeah. So obviously they can tune in to your social media to stay on top of any of the latest announcements.
Totally.
And amazing follow as well, especially on Threads. I'm really enjoying the Threads posts because I think you're a slightly different persona on different platforms, which I super respect. Just because if I'm going to see the same joke in all places, it's like, I'll just follow you on one of them. But if it's different everywhere, I'll follow you in all of them. So kudos to you. And I think Threads is the one that makes me giggle the most.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then everyone's got to go buy my new book, The Awesome Game.
Yes. Yep. Buy the awesome game. Buy the other 3 too. Like get all 4 of them. Hit
all
go
literary
for the home run. The
Perfect gift for the holidays.
Perfect gift.
Yeah. Was there a way? And forgive me if I'm wrong on this, but was there a way to get autographed copies?
Yeah, if you go to my mrdavehill.bigcartel.com, you can get autographed copies there, or come to a show.
Sure. Yeah. So we will link to all of that as well, like the place where you can buy the book. You can check out the shows that are coming up and buy tickets and all of that. And Mr. Dave Hill, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's been such an honor.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And like I said, stay tuned. We're going to play some Valley Lodge after the credits here.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dave. I do hope to see you in Philly.
Yeah. Please come. Let me know. I'll give you tickets. Just message me, and I know a guy.
Excellent. Thanks, Dave.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for having me. Have a great night.
Thanks,
absolutely.
Dave.
Right. David.
Phillip.
So, Mr. Dave Hill, hilarious, funny, talented.
Yeah, I was gonna say, outstanding guitar player, funny
good.
human, good author. I mean, like he's one of those comics, which is really interesting that his voice from his stand-up stuff comes through in his writing and vice versa, which isn't always the case. There's a different thing about the presentation versus and his sort of the way he thinks and his sort of absurdist logic sort of shows up in both of them, and it's such a fun place to be.
It sure is. So, what else did we learn today?
Oh, we learned the 1960s were full of musicals. If we're going to go all the way back to the beginning,
I do like when we go full circle.
We learned that playing music with your dad is kind of awesome. And if you get an opportunity
special.
To do that, you should absolutely do that. And the fact that he got to record it, and the fact that he probably has Jimmy Page on the red hot phone at this point in time, being like, "When can we get you on tour?"
There's also. If you have the ability to tour the world and play hockey,
oh my gosh, do
Kenya,
it!
You do that.
If you get the opportunity to tour the world to investigate anything on somebody else's dime, do that.
That's true. That would probably be
just
the big
go
one.
do that.
Yes, do that. But yeah, Dave Hill, hilarious. So happy he was able to come on, and definitely check out his stuff. So. There's lots of good stuff here coming up. We're gonna have a great close to the year. So,
all right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Your Next Favorite Band. We'd like to sincerely thank Dave Hill for joining us, making us laugh and enjoy melted faces and ripping solos and all sorts of great stories. And we kind of barely got to everything. I hope we almost can bring him back at some other time. He's such a great guest, and thank him for joining. So in the show notes, there'll be links to his site, where to buy the new book, the old books, how to get autographed copies, and tickets to upcoming shows. His YouTube channel is great. We shared some of the things from there. So definitely check out all of that and give him a follow. He's very funny all the time. So as always, our hope here is to bring you your next favorite band / comedian. And if you already knew Dave Hill and that's what kind of had you tuning in, thank you so much. And we just hope that you enjoyed what you heard and saw, and want to subscribe, like, and follow so that we can bring you your next favorite band in a future week. Or check out nextfaveband.com. Your next favorite band may be already out there. Because all of our live streams and podcast audios are available at the site. So you'd be able to kind of check things out there. Coming up, we've got a wonderful guest next week that we will tease on the social media. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And then we have the Winter Wonder Jam and lots of other great stuff in December to kind of close out the year. And then some wonderful stuff in 2024. So hope to see you at a live show soon. And now, some of the real music from Dave Hill and his band Valley Lodge. Here's their song, Go.